there and welcome. Let's be honest. Have you ever felt like you're just buried under a mountain of digital files? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to turn all that chaos into a perfectly organized digital world that you can navigate like a pro. So let's jump right in. Does this feel a little too real? You know that feeling, right? You know you saved that important document somewhere, but now it's just gone. Lost in a sea of files with names that make no sense. If your computer feels more like a digital black hole than a useful tool, stick around. We're going to fix that. So, to get organized, we've got to understand the blueprint of our digital world, and that's the file system. The best way to think about it? It's not a messy pile of papers. It's a library, a perfectly organized library where every single file has a specific shelf it belongs on. It's a system where everything has its place. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to map out the structure of your digital archive. Then, we'll get familiar with the tools you need to navigate it. After that, we'll get our hands dirty and start organizing, and I'll even share some secrets for finding any file in seconds. And finally, we'll wrap up with how to manage your storage space like a boss. Okay, first up, let's really get a handle on the structure of this digital archive. It's all built on what we call a hierarchy. Now, I know hierarchy sounds kind of fancy and complicated, but it's not. It's really just like a tree. You've got the main trunk, which splits off into big branches, and those branches split into smaller and smaller ones. And this is a perfect way to picture it. Think of your computer's drives as the main rooms in your archive. Inside those rooms, you have folders. Those are your file cabinets. You can even have folders inside of other folders, right? We call those subfolders. Think of them like specific binders inside the file cabinets. And then finally, you have the files themselves, the actual documents. See? It's all just containers inside of other containers. So you've got this huge archive. How in the world do you get around? Well, you need a map. And on your computer, that map is called File Explorer. This is your command center. It's the tool you'll use to see, open, and manage every single thing we just talked about. So let's take a quick tour of this map. Over on the left, you've got the navigation pane. That's basically your list of quick links to all the main spots. The big space in the middle, that's the content area, showing you exactly what's inside the folder you've clicked on. Up top, you've got the ribbon, which is your toolbox with all the common commands. And that bar at the very top, the address bar, that's your "You Are Here" sign, showing you the exact path to where you are. Okay, theory time is over. We understand the structure, we've got our map, now it's time to become the archivist. In this next part, we're going to move from just looking around to actually organizing. This is where you take control of your digital space. So the first, most fundamental step to organizing anything is creating a new folder. It couldn't be easier. You just go to where you want it, click that new folder button in the Home tab, give it a name that actually makes sense, and hit Enter. Boom. Just like that, you've got a brand new, empty file cabinet ready for your stuff. You know what the number one enemy of organization is? Vague names like Document 1 or Untitled. Seriously. Giving your files and folders clear, descriptive names is a total game changer. It's just as easy as creating them. Select the item, hit rename, and type in a name that your future self will actually thank you for. Trust me on this one, it saves so much time down the road. Why would you ever manage one file at a time when you can manage dozens? This is a massive time saver. If you want to grab a whole block of files that are all next to each other, just click the first one, hold down the Shift key, and then click the last one. Everything in between gets selected. But what if you want to pick and choose files that aren't touching? Simple. You hold down the CTRL key instead, and then you can click on each individual one you want. 2 little keys, a whole lot of power. Now, listen up, because this is a rule that trips up so many people. The difference between moving a file and copying a file when you drag and drop. So look, if you drag a file to a new folder that's on the same drive, it moves the file. The original is gone from the old spot. But if you drag that same file to a different drive, like a USB stick or a network drive, it copies it, leaving the original right where it was. It's a really key difference to remember. Okay, so you've organized your archive, things are looking good, but what about finding that one specific file you need from 3 years ago that's buried among thousands of others? This is where your digital card catalog, the search function, becomes your absolute superpower. And don't just type a single word into that search bar. You gotta be strategic. The asterisk key is your secret weapon. It's a wildcard that basically means anything. So if you search for report star, it'll find report_final, report_draft v2, anything that starts with report. You can also search by file type. Just type in .jpeg and boom, you'll instantly find every single image in that folder. It's so useful. All right, for our final section, let's talk about the physical space. Where does your archive actually live, and how can we make it more efficient? We're going to cover your storage options and a really clever trick to save a ton of space. You know, not all storage is created equal. Your computer's internal drive is super fast, and it holds your operating system, but you can't really carry it around. External drives, perfect for backups. Memory cards are obviously great for things like cameras. And then you have cloud storage, which gives you the ultimate freedom to get your files from anywhere. It's all about choosing the right tool for the right job. Have you ever gotten a zip file in an email and wondered what on earth it was? Well, it's actually really simple. It's just a compressed folder. Zipping is just the process of shrinking one or more files into a single, smaller package. It's incredibly useful for saving space on your computer or for sending a whole bunch of files to someone at once.
And you know what? Creating one is so easy. All you do is select the files or folders you want to bundle up, head over to the Share tab on that ribbon at the top, and click Zip. That's it. A brand new, tidy, compressed folder just appears, ready for you to store or share. So let's just bring this all home. By understanding the structure of your system, knowing your tools, and using these simple little techniques, you are no longer at the mercy of digital chaos. You are the archivist. You are absolutely in control. And with this newfound power, I'm going to leave you with one final question. I want you to look at your computer right now and think about that one folder that always gives you a headache. You know the one I'm talking about. Maybe it's your downloads folder, maybe it's your desktop. So, what's the very first folder you're going to go organize?
Congratulations on completing the module. Continue learning with Salyvan Academy.